Alice's Amazing Adventure in Wonderland. One sunny afternoon, Alice was lying in the grass, watching fluffy white clouds float across the bright blue sky. Suddenly, she heard a strange ticking sound, tick-tock, tick-tock, like a tiny clock. She looked around, but there were no clocks anywhere. Instead, she saw a white rabbit. Not just any rabbit, a rabbit wearing shiny goggles and a coat covered in little gears. "Oh no! She's seen me!" the rabbit shouted, before dashing straight into a tree trunk that wasn't there before. Alice blinked. "Should I follow him?" she whispered. Of course, she should. So, she jumped up and ran after him. Alice crawled through the tree trunk and found herself sliding down a swirling tunnel. The walls sparkled with floating clocks and spinning cogs, and soft whispers seemed to float through the air. When she landed, she wasn't in her backyard anymore. She was in Wonderland, but not the Wonderland she had heard about before. In this Wonderland, flowers bloomed only at night, and cats sang riddles that made Alice giggle and scratch her head at the same time. Time was all mixed up, clocks ticked sideways, and the sun and moon danced in the sky together. Alice knew she had to find the white rabbit again. Maybe he could help her find her way home. Soon, Alice found herself in a sparkling palace ruled by the Queen of Talks, who loved to keep everyone on time, but sometimes she was a bit too bossy. The Queen had taken the magic time key that kept Wonderland moving, and now everything was starting to freeze. With bravery and a little clever thinking, Alice set out to find the time key. She solved riddles from singing cats, crossed rivers made of melted chocolate, and even outwitted the Queen's chessboard knights. At last, Alice turned the giant clock's hands, and Wonderland began to tick forward again. Suddenly, Alice found herself back in the meadow where her adventure had begun. The sun was shining, the clouds were floating, and the white rabbit was nowhere to be seen. But in her pocket, she felt something strange, a tiny, ticking clock gear. Maybe, Alice thought with a smile, this is just the beginning of my adventure.